Hey, what's up guys, it's Theo from Concept. So today we are going to create a school logo in Adobe Photoshop. Now mind you, the best software from Adobe that you should be using to create logos is Adobe Illustrator, but I don't have that much knowledge on it. I'm still learning, and once I have developed myself very well, I'll be making tutorials on it as well. So basically that is what we are doing today. This is what we are creating. Let's just get started. Welcome to Concept. Click the subscribe button and hit the bell icon so you don't miss out on any of our future videos. Alright, so here we are on my computer and I'm going ahead to create a new document. So as always, I'll leave my width and height as 2000 by 2000. So as you can see here, that is the width and the height here in pixels. And I'll just click on create. Now I have a specific color that I want to go for and I'll just have it in here like so. So it is a dark blue, which should be somewhere here in case you want to use the exact same thing. I mean, I don't mind. And I'll just click on OK. So the first part is creating our crest, which you can download from Google or any other platform you feel comfortable with. But I prefer creating it from scratch. So let's do that. So having my rulers here, using Control R, you can bring up your rulers and I'll just click and drag mine to the center like so. It should snap in like this. And I'll do the exact same thing from the top, so it should snap in like this. Now to create the crest, we'll be using the pen tool, so let's grab the pen tool from here, or you can use P on your keyboard. Now an important thing to note is that up here where we have the shape, if it is set to path, you have to change it from path to shape, else this is not going to work. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to click at the center. You know what, let me zoom in, bring back my pen tool. I'm going to click at the center, somewhere around here. And I'm going to click somewhere around here, probably like half of this. It doesn't really matter, but something like that. Now, instead of just clicking, I'll just click and drag so that it produces this nice curve whilst holding down the shift key so that it doesn't deform. If I leave the shift key, it's going to create something like this. Holding it down is going to give me a perfect horizontal line. So something like this is cool. Now, once I'm done, I'm going to hold down the Alt key to bring this point back to where I started. So hold down the Alt key. You notice that the cursor changes to something like this, and I'll click and drag and bring it back to where I started. And this is where we want. So once I'm done, I'll click somewhere around here whilst holding down the Shift key so that I have a perfect straight line like this. And this is what I want. Now it is left to the last part, which is going to be let me see, somewhere around here. Somewhere around here. Now I'll also click and drag so that I get a curve like so. Now what to keep in mind is I want the curve to be somewhere around here and not at this area. So instead of just clicking and dragging like this, I'd rather bring it to the bottom so that the curve will be on this area which I have here. So let me do that one more time. So it will look something like this. And I'll just release. Now once I'm done, I'll hit enter on my keyboard. So this is what we have. Now once we are done, we have to duplicate this and just flip them around. I'm sure there's a way you can create on one side and it's going to flip it automatically, but I have completely forgotten. I learned that when I was drawing at some point, but if you have that in mind, you can use that. But since I've forgotten, let's continue with this. So once I'm done, I'll just hold down the Control key and press J to duplicate. Or you can just click and drag on drop on the new layer icon. That's also going to duplicate for you. And as you can see, we have two of these. Now use Control T to bring up the transform tools. You notice you have the transform tools when you have these three icons up here. Now once I have that, I'll just right click on the image or the shape in this case, and I'll click on flip horizontal. So once it's flipped horizontal, I'll just place this side by side and just click on OK. So basically this is what we have. If I hide my rulers, you can see that we have a perfect a crest. Yeah. So let me bring my rulers back. Now I'm going to select these two and merge them up. So right click on them. Now to select, you just select the first one, hold down Control, select the second one, right click and go to merge shapes. Now I have one solid shape. Now the reason why I'm using shape is at any point in time when you decide to change the color. Because it is a shape, you can just double click and change the color. If it was rasterized, that's another story. You have to use the paint bucket tool, which is going to make it deform and the colors are going to look weird at some point. So if I want to change the color of this, I just double click and I can make it white, make it black, make it red, make it any color I want, but I keep it at this blue color. So let's place this at the center. So somewhere around here should be our center. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to add in a stroke, a white stroke, and then a blue stroke. So to do that, I'll just go into FX, which is down here, second icon from the left, and I'll click on stroke. Now if I bring that up here for a second, you notice that we can't really see what we have. So what I'll do is I'll create the stroke inside. So it's going to be something like this, and still you can't see because the actual shape or the background is also white. So you know what, let's create a color behind the background so that we can see what we are doing. So to do that, I'll just use the adjustment panel and I'll select solid color, and we have the blue color already there, and I'll click on OK. Now again, the reason why I use the color fill is at any point in time I can just double click and change the color rather than painting on the background. That is a whole lot of issue. So this is what we have. Now this is looking quite nice for me. Let's go back to where we were. So I'll double click on FX and I'll go back to my stroke. Now once I'm here, let's go ahead and make some few changes. So I'll increase the size of my stroke. Now you notice that I changed the position from outside to inside. Now the reason for that is, take a look at how outside looks like. Now if I zoom in, you can see that over at these edges, it is creating this rounded borders. I don't want that. I actually hate it a lot. So if I go back and change it to inside, it actually takes that away. So I want it to be inside. Now let's say I want the stroke to be about 30 pixels. So once I'm done, I'll just click on OK, and this is what you have. I think this is looking quite cool. So we have to create one more shape, that is the book. So any book you want. Yeah, let's use the pen tool one more time. This time around I'm going to change my color from blue to white so that you can see it up here as well, and I'm going to start creating a book. So let's see, if I click somewhere around here, somewhere around here, somewhere down here, and somewhere down here, we should have a book. Now this is going to be the size of the book. Now there was one more thing I was supposed to do. Now this is what we have. So we are going to make a few changes to this. The first thing is, instead of having the fill color like this, fill is for the inside color and stroke is for the outlines, I'm going to change the fill to none, and I'm going to set the stroke to a white color from here, and you can see we have this, the outline. Now since our stroke here was 30, I'm also going to make this somewhere 30, and we have something like this. This is looking cool. So if I go back to my, once I'm done, I can just move this around to however I want. So I think somewhere around here should be just fine. Now I'm actually going to create a duplicate, or better still, let's create another one. So I'll use the pen tool again. I'll just click somewhere around. Now once you are done, of course you have to hit enter to confirm that this is going to be your shape. So let's create one more. So I'll probably click somewhere here, somewhere here, somewhere here, and somewhere here. Hit enter to confirm. This is another side. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, so this is looking like a weird book, but let's just go with it. So I'll select all these shapes, 1, 2, 3, probably resize them to something like this, and of course I'm going to flip them around. So Ctrl J to duplicate. Using the transform, I'll flip this horizontally, just as we did for the crest. So I'll place this somewhere around here. Now they obviously have to be in line with each other. So let me zoom in and try to bring them closer to each other. I think something like this is okay. So I'm actually going to merge all of these up like what we did for the crest. Right click. You know what? I actually don't want them to be too close. So something like this should be fine. So select everything, right click, go to merge shapes. Now, because you are just using the outlines, anytime you merge the shape, it creates some weird shapes. It tries to merge or link all the outer borders and bring them together. This is a problem. So what I have been doing is that if I want to merge the shapes, I just rasterize first and then merge the shapes. Forget what I said about earlier. If it is a fill, then you don't have to rasterize because you can change the color at any point in time. But if you're just using the outlines or the strokes, you have to rasterize them. That's how it works for me. So let me undo and first rasterize them by right clicking and go to rasterize layers. Then once I am done, right click again and go to merge layers. Now if I use the move tool, I can put this at the center like so. So let's fit this back to screen. This is what we have. Now let's add in one more thing. That is going to be a rectangle. So for the rectangle, we just go over to the shapes tool and select rectangle. So we have a stroke of 30 and we are going to fill it in with that blue color. So we have the blue and we have the stroke, both of them at the same time. So I'll create a rectangle like this. Then I'll just use the move tool to position it to somewhere I feel comfortable with. I think somewhere here should be just fine. Now you're going to be typing in this. Now one thing I have noticed is don't type inside the rectangle, type outside, and once you're done, bring your text inside. Now this is what I mean. If I type in here, everything, oh, this is huge. Let me reduce the size. Now if I have the rectangle selected, and I type in here, everything I type is going to be inside the rectangle and we wouldn't be able to move it as much as we want. Well, we can hardly move it. So what I do is with the rectangle not selected, no active cell, then I will type in whatever I have in there. So let's say we are typing, which school is this? Let's call it a university. And let's make it all caps. So I'll go into the character options. You can find it by going to window and click on character. Now if I go in here, I'll turn everything to caps and we have something like this. And let's go ahead and increase the size. I think something like this should look, this looks cool. Now you can manipulate and create some weird things if you want. Now the font I'm using is Gotham Ultra. You can see from up here. And let's see, I'm really not talking about this so much because it depends on which font you are using. It is going to vary if you want anything like that. So I'm just making some few changes to my shapes. So let's make this 50. All right, so this is what we have. Then we can have in if you have a slogan, so we can say motto goes here. What would be our motto? So build and create, of course. Design will come in later. So I'll highlight the whole of this, and probably instead of using the ultra, I'll just use the medium, and I'll definitely have to reduce the size. So put it somewhere around here and probably underline it as well. So just click on this to underline. Now if there's anything else, say 2021, that is the year it was established, I'll make this definitely not aligned and probably make this also ultra. So something like this is looking cool. Now I can highlight these two and make or separate the distance between this and that, the text above and the text beneath. So highlight the bottom one and just use this to separate them. Probably 36 is just fine, and I'll place this somewhere around here. So we are getting, you know what, let me hide the rulers. They are still confusing some people, I know. So this is what we have so far. Now we are going to add in one more thing. So we are going to go back to the pen tool and create two more random shapes. Then I think we are done with the tutorial. So over here, what I'll do is, if I go back to my pen tool, you can see we have the fill is set, the stroke is set. I'm going to set the fill to actually no color because I just want the stroke, and I'll create something like this. So over here, click, hold down the shift key to have a perfect horizontal line, hold down the shift key to have a perfect 45-degree angle, hold down the shift key to have it something like this. Also, now what, let's bring it down probably somewhere here and hold it one more time to have something like this. So this is what we have. Now I'm going to flip this around, Control J, and bring this here, Control J to duplicate, of course. And after flipping it around, I'll bring this on the other side like so. So if I zoom in and out, this is what we have. You know what? Let me save this before I lose the whole thing. So logo tutorial. Let's make a university logo tutorial, and let's have it on the desktop. Okay, so save, and this is what we have. So basically this is it. If you have any other weird things you want to add in, you can definitely add that. This is something I just thought of right now, and I thought I should make a tutorial about it. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you'd like to watch more of our videos, hit that subscribe button, and as always, don't forget to share with your family and friends. This is Theo from Final Concept, and I'll talk to you guys in the next one.